Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and enjoy this fanfic part 1. Now let's start the fanfic. A great beast, a demon ravaged the lands. With a simple flick of its tail it could crush mountains or cause tsunamis. This beast was referred to as the Kyubi no Yoko. It was also better known as the nine-tailed demon fox. It had destroyed several villages in its rampage of destruction and now it was headed towards Konoha, the village hidden in the leaves. Shinobi of this proud village rose to oppose this force of nature as best they could. Keep it away from the village until the Hokage can arrive. One of Shinobi yelled as several were driven back by the onslaught of the beast that appeared to be fueled by rage. We must hold until the Hokage arrives. Another Shinobi exclaimed. As the Kyubi roared it sent trees hurtling towards the small group of men, some were killed instantly. Others were saved by the sound of a man yelling. Hakusho Kaden. A tree was shattered against a wall of chakra. Thank you Lord Hyuga. Hyuga just nodded and swept his arms forward for the others to continue the attack on the Kyubi as best as he could. Just then a call rang out. Lord Hokage has arrived. A man appeared riding upon the head of a gigantic toad with a scar on its left eye. The blond man had his hands across his chest. Leave now and do not come any closer, great Kyubi. I do not wish you any harm, Kyubi. The Kyubi looked at the man with anger in its eyes and growled angrily. The demon stalked closer as the other ninjas retreated. 3 shinobi were not part of the group that were in retreat. Promise me that he will be thought of as a hero, and a savior of the village. I am sorry my friends, let not our sacrifice go in vain. He will become a great asset to this village. Make sure he makes it back to Kushina. Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage, yelled to the others below on the ground with tears streamed down his face. I am sorry my son. Minato then looked at his friends, specifically at Hiyashi. Is the deal still on my old friend? I did hear that you are expecting a girl. Hiyashi nodded and smirked at the question. It is our hope that they will be happy together my friend, you can be assured of that. You have my word that I will do everything I can for both Naruto and Kushina. An elderly ninja bowed his head and stated. You have my promise my friend. I will do what I can to make his life as bearable as possible. Sarutobi, the 3rd Hokage, stated quietly. Minato moved his hands through a series of hand signs and then exclaimed. Forbidden art. Death Reaper seal. A bright flash was seen and the Kyubi's body appeared to no longer there. Minato collapsed on the toad's back. Both men on the ground jumped up and grabbed him, taking him carefully down to the ground. Thank Gamabunta for all your help. Minato exclaimed with labored breath. Gamabunta nodded his head and disappeared in a cloud of smoke. Both men kneeled over their dying Hokage. I hope the village will not hate him, for this was all I could do to save them and that is why I put my life on the line and that of my family. I did it so that the village would be safe. That is what the Hokage is supposed to do, right? Minato asked as he smiled and touched the cheek of a blonde child held by Sarutobi. The other men only nodded as they saw the life drain from their friend. We will do what we can for him. Sarutobi whispered under his breath. A kunoichi appeared and took the crying blonde baby from Sarutobi. She wrapped the boy in a swaddle, a seal evident on the boy's stomach as she covered him and tried to ease his crying. Now bring Naruto and we will head back to the village. In a cave not far away from the village there are 2 figures. So you are not dead? No, but the fight was nearly as taxing as the one with the Shodai. Now get rid of the other one as there is no way I can control it. As you wish my leader. I even brought 2 to help me with sealing it. A man with sickly white skin replied as both men began to laugh. They stood over the body of a lavender-colored fox that was as big as a horse. The sickly-looking man removed a fox statue from his pouch and performed several hand signs. The 2 bound men died as the fox disappeared and the statue began to glow. It is done. I am glad I left that pathetic village a while ago. So what do I do with this? He asked, holding the statue as the glow started to fade. Go make some money off it if you like, I don't care. Go and gain power and help me crush the village at a later date. Or if you think you can do it yourself, then do it. Both men laugh maniacally. 2 days later in the village council chambers. The same argument had continued while the blonde baby is tended to in the corner. I say he should die, that would save the village. I call for his death. Fugaku Uchiha exclaimed, slamming his fist on the table. This caused Naruto to wake and start to cry. That is so typical of an Uchiha, calling for the death of an innocent. I for one will not stand for it. Hyuga yelled his reply. I agree that calling for his death is unreasonable, we should wait and see how he turns out. As an orphan we are compelled to save his life even if he carries the beast within him. Shikaku Nara proclaimed in an even tone. He saved and is saving us from the wrath of the beast, and you would repay him in the memory of our great fourth Hokage with a murder of a child. Choza Akamaiki asked. No matter what the origin or what they contain. All life must be given a chance. Evil children rise from good parents. This child could become a great person even with that great evil sealed inside of it. Sume Inuzuka proclaimed. He is a demon, he is no longer human. He is a Jinchuriki. He will not be respected nor accepted in this village. Baika Haruno exclaimed. He is abomination, and must be destroyed. Fugaku exclaimed angrily in agreement with Baika. You would dishonor the last wish of your Hokage. We also know about the link between the Uchiha and the Kyuubi. So if Naruto dies then so will both of your sons, Uchiha. Hiashi retorted. You would dare compare that thing's value to the value of Uchiha children. How dare you? Fugaku yelled. Gentlemen, please, Sarutobi interrupts, let's not have a civil war between the great clans of Konoha. I am asking what the council will advise me on doing with the boy. The fourth said that he, the boy, should be seen as a hero. And killing a hero or a child in cold blood would not a proper reward for someone so young, or any hero for that matter. I would say that you are the monsters for calling for his death. Sarutobi's tone became grim. I assure you that no one is going to kill him or you and your clan will be paid dearly. As Hokage I proclaim this. Now, no one shall talk about the boy being the Kyuubi container or about what truly happened to any of the younger generation. Furthermore, you are now forbidden by law to speak of it. If you are talking to someone who has prior knowledge of this, or the boy is told by the standing Hokage and then wishes to tell another, it will be allowed. The only exceptions to this are Naruto and the standing Hokage. Do I make myself clear? Breaking this law will be punishable by death as it is now an ranked secret for the village. He scanned the room and got all nods, most were grudging nods, but some were happier such as Hiashi, the Nara, and Akamaiki members. Now I am sorry to report that the boy's mother is no longer with us, we need to figure out what we are to do with him. We have several options. He could be put up in one of the great houses. There were several gaps, or we can have him put up in one of the orphanages. If a clan will not take him, let us call him by his name, Naruto Uzumaki. Also because you are such a vocal proponent of killing Naruto, the Uchihas are excluded from taking him in. Will we have to send him the one of the orphanages? The Uchiha representative stood up. Are you insinuating that we would murder that thing after taking him in? Like we would ever take it such an abomination. Sarutobi started to chuckle. Well yes, I think I am. I will allow the Hyuga, Nara, Akamichi, Yamanaka, Aburame and Inuzuka clans discuss this. As the other do not seem to want Naruto. Why do keep calling that thing by a name? It is a monster and will grow up to destroy the village. I am leaving. The Uchiha yelled. That is the first good news we have had in the last few days. Hiashi exclaimed, to a chorus of laughter. After 10 minutes the chatter from the clan heads and the civilian council members at the table, they finally begin to settle down, especially after the Haruno representative left in a huff. She left after having a bitter argument over Naruto over how he should be raised. Haruno wanted Naruto left on the streets so that he would have to fend for himself, while the Inuzuka representative wanted Naruto raised in a loving home so that he could reach his full potential. Sarutobi looked at the group questioningly. So have you made a decision? Hiashi replies, yes, Sandame, we have. Most of the families will have interaction with Naruto, the Hyugas will care for and assure the safety of the boy, the Nara will work with him on his mind, the Akamaiki will work on his taijutsu. Some of the others have agreed to help but do not want to be known that they are helping. The Abarames want to help also, they are not sure how they can help him but they will. And no, they will not offer him to their insect colonies to become a host. Yes, I know my wife is expecting but it will be good to have another face in the house. I am sure she will be happy to help care for Naruto. I see, very well then. Sarutobi acknowledged. So now that it has been decided, as a side note if the boy wishes to become a shinobi it will be allowed. Again I must tell you that the people who do not know about what happened to the boy should not know. This is for his protection and that of the village. Again I have made all information about him an S-class secret. Are there any objections? Sarutobi asked and there were none. A couple months later on the Hyuga estate there was the birth of a baby girl and a happy times had come to the head family of the Hyuga clan. Well my darling wife, what shall we name her? Hiyashi looked proudly upon his wife and daughter. Hinata sounds good, don't you agree, Hiyashi? His wife said as she cradled a giggling baby in her arms. Hiyashi nodded as this was the proudest moment in his life. The second was bringing Naruto into the household whom he was holding. Will we honor our agreement? And we did have a girl. Hiyashi nodded. Well, of course we will, but we will have to make sure he understands that he is a guest, not a true member of the family for this to work. It could cause problems though, but we will cross that bridge when we come to it. Several of the eyes in the Hyuga household were not so happy as the Hiyashi and his wife's. Others were planning to remove the taint from the Hyuga household. The demon would either be killed or sent away. Naruto's and Hinata's first year was a happy one as they did not leave Hinata's mother's side. Naruto was walking, actually running at 8 months. Hinata started to walk around 9 months with the help of Naruto, of course. About a year and 3 months after Naruto was born there was a meeting between the sickly-looking man and the wreckage. This is an example of how you can seal a demon into an object, but you can of course seal it into a person, like they did the 9-tailed fox in Konoha. With this knowledge you can create a weapon for your village. Here is the scroll that has information on how you might be able to deal with your, shall we say, problems. But the caster must give up his life for it to work and you will need a newborn infant to seal the beast in. The formula is not complete as I was not able to get all the information from Konoha, but I am sure you can finish it. Also here is another scroll that will release the demon that is sealed into this statue into a body so you can have yet another demon vessel. The thin sickly long-haired man explained holding a statue of a fox. So Orochimaru, what is the cost of this? The wreckage asked. Only help in financing a village for me to control, of course we would be allies. Orochimaru answered. That sounds reasonable. The wreckage replied as they both laughed. 6 months later in the country of lightning an 8-tailed dragon is moving through the countryside. Several mist ninja raced towards it with a baby being held by one of the shinobi. One of the shinobi started to mutter something and the dragon disappears in a flash of light. The man collapses as a seal appears on the stomach of the baby boy and the baby began to cry. Take him to the cell with the old man. The lead shinobi orders the kunoichi holding the baby. At least the old man was able to help finish the seal information so it was successful this time. The group headed back to Kumo where the baby was put into a cell with an elderly man for him to make the child into a weapon. They arrived and are greeted by the wreckage at the gates of the village. Was the sealing a success? The wreckage asked as the men nod and the kunoichi continued on to the prison. Good. You followed my orders that he be put with the old man and we shall see if he will become a good weapon. Now get out of my sight. The kunoichi entered the cell and handed the child to a cell to an elderly man in the cell. Take care of him and teach him what you know. The wreckage wants him to become a good weapon that we can use at a later date. We will be by later with some food for you and that creature. The old man smiles at the child but then frowns at the kunoichi and the guards. I will do as you ask, I will teach the boy, but I cannot guarantee he will become a weapon. I will raise him and teach him what I can. The chakra seal will be a hindrance to my teachings, could you please remove them? The old man asked. No, we need to make sure that thing does not get loose. The woman answered. A year and a few months later, a giant two-tailed cat is destroying the countryside in the lightning country. A new group of lightning shinobi carrying a baby approached the cat. One of shinobi pulls out a scroll and began to read it. A flash of light appears and the cat is gone as a seal appears on the baby held by another ninja. The man reading the scroll collapses. The other shinobi gather their dead comrade and head back to Kumo with the child. Arriving in Kumo, they head to the tower of the Raikage. Better this time? The Raikage asks. The men nod their head and present the baby to the Raikage. Take it to my wife so that she can take care of it. We will try to learn from our mistakes as the other seems to not be able to take our training. We will send this one to school and see if she turns out differently. Tell all your men that she is to be treated more kindly than the boy has been. Do I make myself clear? The men nod and quickly leave the Raikage's office. In the private quarters of the Raikage's wife, a shinobi presents the baby to her. What am I supposed to do with this brat? Does he want to raise it as one of his own? The female shinobi nodded. Yes, my lady, he does. Those were his orders also. We were to instruct it on how to be a proper member of society. And it is eventually be to become a shinobi. This is his weapons program as we will be gaining more. I am told that in a year's time we may have another guest. Great, more beasts, just what we need. Well, take care of her, she will be shown the courtesies of being a member of the Raikage's family. The Raikage's wife exclaimed with a scowl. In a dark, dirty cell, an old man is playing ball with a young boy. Are you having fun, Shinbo? The old man asks. Uhu. Yeds dada, more ball, Shinbo happily replies. The old man smiles and rolls the ball to the boy. I will teach you how to read and how to do seals. Doesn't that sound fun? Yeah. Dada, fun, more ball, Shinbo replies. Naruto and Hinata had their first play time outside of the Hyuga compound. They traveled with Hinata's mother and several guards to the Nara estate. Naruto enjoyed playing with Shikamaru and the deer that seemed to be everywhere on the Nara estate. Hinata also enjoyed playing with the deer but mostly enjoyed spending time with her best friend Naruto. The Nara were surprised by the energy that Naruto seemed to exude, it was infectious. Naruto with each visit began to believe that Shikamaru's mother was scary, but nice. Shikamaru could only agree. The next day Naruto and Hinata both got to play with the Inuzuka dogs and meet the youngest child Kiba. Naruto and Kiba seemed to get along like arguing brothers whenever Naruto and Hinata came over. Hinata would just giggle at their antics. Naruto never understood his visits to the Yamanaka residence other than he got to learn about plants. Hinata enjoyed these visits too. She was able to spend time with Ino and thus they became good friends. Inoichi would take Naruto aside for a couple hours then return and talk to Hinata's mother. It was always hushed whispers and that something was still asleep. Naruto never understood what they were talking about but he enjoyed the attention Inoichi would give him. About 6 months later in the village of Konoha is having a celebration and there are foreign shinobi, walking down the street accepting the accolades of the crowd, who have heard that the land of lighting and fire are now at peace. The head of the lightning village is greeted with much fanfare. Elsewhere in town, two small boys, one with blonde hair the other with black, are being chased by several villagers. Why is that you are always chased, Naruto? It's like you have a sign pasted on your back saying, I am here, beat me. The Nara child complained. I don't know. Why you asking me? I am getting tired. Only a little farther then we will reach a safe place. Suddenly Naruto stopped and Shikamaru ran into him. We are in trouble now. Run, Shika. I will stop them from hurting you. Naruto said as he raised his arms in a defensive manner. The way was blocked by more angry villagers with sticks. They started to beat him, calling him demon. Shikamaru attempted to interfere only to be hit by a couple villagers, knocking him unconscious. After about 10 minutes of beating they are rescued. Hurry up and disable all of them. Take these to the hospital and notify the Hokage. Where are his guards? We are going to catch hell for this. A fox-masked man comments. Bring the villagers to Ibiki so we can figure out why they attacked him. Oh great, not only are the Hyuga going to be mad, the Nara will be too. This is not going to be a good day. The Anbu man just shook his head. They are both barely breathing and bleeding. I am taking them now. An owl-masked Anbu agent said as he picked up both boys. Go. Go. We can clean up here. The fox-masked ordered. The owl-masked agent jumped to the rooftops and headed to the hospital. This is a mess. We have to deal with security around the kid and also deal with having lightning ninja in town. I hope the day doesn't get any worse. Elsewhere, the Hyugas are having a meeting. Father, she looks pretty. A young Neji says to his father Hazashi as he looks at Hinata. He smiles at his son, patting his head. It is Hinata's 3rd birthday. I think it is time to take Neji under my wing. Hiyashi comments to his brother. Yes, it's time, I guess. And congratulations on your 3rd birthday, Lady Hinata. Hazashi replies as Hinata moves behind her father's leg shyly. Later that day, Hinata is at Naruto's bedside crying as he is lying covered in bandages. Hiyashi is looking very mad. What happened? He was supposed to have Anbu protection coming home from the Nara house today. How could this happen? A man in an owl mask replies, and Uchiha was assigned to guard him. He has been brought up on charges and speaking to Ibiki right now, as are the villagers that did this to him. They also beat the Nara child, but not as badly, as he appeared to be protecting him. The Uchihas want their man back, but the Nara are forcing the issue. Am I to assume that you are also going to force the issue? Hiyashi nods. With the head of the land of lightning here, how could they want to hurt him? Him, of all people. It isn't even the anniversary of the attack. Hiyashi trails off. I am sorry, Lord Hiyashi. I know your clan had personal business today and thus were relying on Anbu to deal with this. I am sorry we let you down. It will not happen again, as the man in charge of the rotations was also an Uchiha. He is also talking to Ibiki. A smirk crossed Hiyashi's face, then a frown. I know the Uchihas have it in for him, but I did not know the lengths they would go to hurt or kill him. Again, I am sorry, but I must report to the Hokage. But the good news is that he is well enough to go home with you later this afternoon. The last statement was louder than the rest and was heard by a crying young girl, who stopped crying and cheered up some. Later that evening, a couple of figures were sneaking onto the Hyuga estate. They snuck into Hinata's bedchamber, pulled out a small statue of a fox and pulling up her shirt to reveal her stomach. They then cast a genjutsu on her to sleep more deeply. They painted a seal on her stomach and one started to chant. The statue started to glow, and a light moved from the statue to the young girl. It is done, said one of the men to the other. As the other picked Hinata up, a shuffling was heard outside the door, and a shadow of a child came through the wall. The first threw a kunai through the wall and heard a thud of a hit on the small figure. Ow! That hurt. What is going on in Hinata's room? A young boy's voice called out as he opened the door. 2 more kunai hit the bandaged boy, who was now bleeding from the first hit. He threw the kunai that had hit him at one of the intruders, hitting him squarely in the throat. The dying ninja just fell to the floor as the other hit Naruto as he passed him and started to run off. A few moments later, Hiyashi caught the intruder who was stealing his daughter and activated his Byakugan, then in one move slammed his hand over the heart of the intruder, destroying his heart, killing the man instantly. He recovered his daughter as the man fell to the ground. He then hurried in as he had heard Naruto's screams. He found him in a pool of blood. He immediately called for assistance, where several guards showed up quickly. They rushed both Naruto and Hinata to the hospital. At the hospital, several of the doctors were in need of help from an infuriated Hiyashi Hyuga who would attack any doctor who would not aid Naruto. Helping Hinata was not a problem as she was an heir to the Hyuga family, but Naruto was the demon. Hiyashi would not have it, he wanted the boy treated. Finally, a few nurses got together along with a single doctor and treated the Naruto. They said that he should be dead but was not, and that they would treat him. It took several days before either of them would wake up, so as a safety precaution Hiashi had them put into the same room together, as he had business to deal with. The intruder was the head of the Lightning Village. And there was still the burned scroll and the broken fox statue to deal with. Adding to that, his wife was not in the best of health. Hinata woke up first but did not feel well. She spent the first day awake watching Naruto just breathe. This seemed to relax her as she was not used to being in the hospital as a patient. He woke up the next morning as she watched him. He woke up with a start, startling Hinata. Hey, leave Hinata alone, ouch. Wait, I was hit by kunai. Where am I? Hinata blushed and laughed at Naruto's confusion but was worried about his saying someone had attacked him and her both. But felt very pleased that he tried to defend her. He seemed to realize where he was. Hey, am I back in this place again? Dang, I wish I wouldn't have to keep coming here. Then he noticed Hinata giggling. You're here too. He looked very sad and troubled, especially for a 3-year-old. Sorry. Hinata just giggled. She felt safe when he was near. The nurse soon arrived and saw that Naruto was sitting up. Well, young man, how does it feel to be a hero? He brightened at that comment. She then looked at Hinata. He saved you from being kidnapped. And it almost cost him his life. Hinata gasped and passed out. The nurse laughed. Naruto looked at her questioningly. Huh, you mean I saved Hinata? A huge grin crossed his face. But what do you mean almost cost my life? His mood seemed to change to worry. She smiled. Well, son, you nearly died. Color drained from Naruto's face. After the beating you took yesterday, you got yourself stuck by 3 kunai. All were well placed to bleed you to death. Good thing you heal very quickly and you were brought here by Lord Hiashi quickly after the incident. The door opens again, this time it is Lord Hiashi, Shikaku Nara, and Choza Akamichi. They entered the room smiling. Well, Naruto, how are you feeling? Are you ready to marry Hinata? Because of you saving her, you are now in charge of protecting her. And I cannot think of a better way to protect her than as her husband. Again the color left Naruto's face as Hiashi spoke those words with a huge smile on his face. He was partially joking and partially because of a certain agreement. Hiashi laughed at Naruto was trying to mouth the word marry. Stop teasing the boy, it is tiresome. Shikaku commented with a smile as color returned to Naruto's face. Naruto did not like many adults as most were mean to him. Hiashi was like a father, but Hinata was his best friend and he wanted it to stay that way always. They were visited by Shikamaru Nara the next day as he was finally recovering from his injuries from helping defend Naruto from the villager. Man, you are nothing but trouble, Naruto. Laughing at his comment, if they were after you, why they hurt me too. Naruto could only just shake his head. But, you hero now. I like being friends with hero. On the other side of town in the Uchiha complex, Hiashi is going to die and we can be happy when the Hyugas push the boy out and we can finally rid the village of that demon menace. We will then deal with the stragglers that are attempting to leave the clan so that the Uchiha line will remain pure. We can also push for an arranged marriage with the Hyuga to increase the potency of both bloodlines. But Hiashi will not have this, he will fight it and not let her go so easily. An Uchiha elder commented. With Hiashi out of the way, I am sure we can arrange it. Which would be better in your opinion, Itachi or Sasuke? Sasuke would be the better age match and he is more malleable as he will do what he is told but he is not as skilled as Itachi. Fugaku commented. But that is tertiary to destroying the danger to the village, the demon child must die. Hinata and Naruto were let out of the hospital a few days later. A Hyuga escort was there to take them to the compound as Hiashi was busy dealing with his brother choosing to die for his brother over the kidnapping incident. Neji started to grow cold to both Naruto and Hinata. A little more than 2 years later, Hiashi is in his study, his tears seemed to not end. His beloved wife died giving birth to their second daughter, now his brother and his wife were gone. The clan elders were pushing him to send Naruto away, and they wanted Hinata to prove herself as a Hyuga. He has gone numb not being able to face them anymore and argue with them on all these subjects. He is dreading this meeting with the elders. They have a lot of leverage, but the worst thing is that he does not have the will to fight. Why so soon after her death do they push me? I know some do not like Naruto, but most of those not on the council enjoy Naruto being around. They find him a bundle of joy and do not want him to leave. I am guessing that it is those who do not like change. An hour later he was in the Hyuga clan council chamber. Hiashi, you will send Naruto away, he is distracting Hinata from becoming stronger. We cannot have our next leader be weak. All Hiashi could do is just nod as he started to seal his emotions inside of him. Also you will forbid him from seeing her. This is the best for the clan. I know he has defended her a few times. Referring to the abduction and a few other incidents where Naruto had either saved or defended Hinata from other children. He must leave. We know it will be hard on him, but it will make them both stronger in the end. An hour later, Hiashi is standing in front of Naruto and Hinata. Hinata, you will go to your room until supper. Naruto, wait here. We have some things to discuss. Hinata left not knowing what was going on, but complied with her father's wishes. Naruto, you are hereby ordered to leave the Hyuga compound and not to return until you are told you can return. You are also hereby forbidden to talk or approach Hinata unless you go to school together. Have I made myself clear? Naruto's shoulders slumped like the weight of the world had just been pressed down upon him. All he could do is nod as tears rolled down his face. He tried to speak but could not. His whole world had just been ripped out from under him. Added to that, the death of Lady Hyuga, who Naruto looked up to like a mother, died only a few weeks ago. He knew it was taking its toll on Hiashi and Hinata. Why are they kicking me out? He could not understand. Hiashi knelt down to look Naruto in the eyes. This is not because I hate you or even dislike you. There are other things involved in this. I will tell you later about them. Until then, be safe and try to be happy. I know this hurts, but there is nothing I can do at the moment. A couple men appeared out of a tree wearing animal masks. These men will escort you to the Hokage. He has set up a residence for you so that you can live on your own. Turning away, not able to face the boy as it would break him into pieces. Be strong. I know you want to be Hokage. Make that your dream. If not, find a dream and seek it out. Now go, we will send your stuff to you. Hiashi walked back into the compound, slamming shut the door and the window to his emotions. Naruto walked up to the two men with animal masks and followed them. One talked to Naruto, cheer up. Things are different, but they will improve. With that, they walked silently, other than the constant sobs of Naruto, to the Hokage's tower. At the tower, Naruto went to the Hokage's office. There he saw Sarutobi looking over documents, not apparently noticing that Naruto and his escort had arrived. Naruto continued to cry as he had lost everything: his best friend, a man who he thought of like a father, the woman he thought of like a mother had died only recently. Nothing made sense. How am I to survive alone and with no one? Did Hiashi hate me? No, he said he did not. But then why is he sending me away? What did I do wrong? Sarutobi finished the document he was working on and waved the escort away and moved over to Naruto and knelt down and gave him a big hug. This startled Naruto as he was deep in thought about what he was to do. Naruto, I know this is all confusing. And there is not much I can say. I am giving you an apartment to live in. You will be able to come and go as you please. Also, for the next couple years I am going to have a chunin come and stop by every few days to check on you and to teach you. This is to make sure you settle into your new place and are able to survive. When you are 8, I will let you enter the ninja academy. I will also come by occasionally as my work here permits. It is either this or an orphanage. I hope you understand that Hiashi did what he had to do. We can discuss this when you are older if you like. These men will escort you to your new home. Good luck. I expect great things from you, Naruto. He hugged Naruto again and the escorts reappeared and walked him to a second-story one-bedroom apartment. It had a small kitchen, a refrigerator, a small couch, a small bathroom with shower, and in the bedroom there was a bed and a dresser. There was a note on the top of the dresser. The note read, Naruto, you will be given certain amount of money each month for food and clothing. Please use it sparingly. Hokage. The escort left him with a key to the apartment and told him to expect a visitor in the morning. Naruto went into the bedroom and lay down on the bed and cried himself to sleep. At the Hyuga compound, Hinata asked where Naruto was. He has been asked to leave. He has also been asked to not bother you anymore. An elder answered. The elder smiled with the last statement. This news devastated Hinata. She had lost her best friend and he had been told to not talk to her. Feeling hurt and confused, she ran as fast as she could to her room, closing the door. She then proceeded to cry herself to sleep. Why do they want you to go? Where are you? The next day Naruto did not feel like getting up even when there was a knock at the door. He just lay on the bed not wanting to do anything, not even think. He heard the door open and someone walk in. Naruto, are you here? Asked a sweet voice. Naruto, are you here? The voice seemed to become panicked. Naruto, are you here? Please Naruto, be alright. A woman ran into the bedroom with a look of terror in her jade green eyes. All Naruto could do was stare at her eyes. Seeing Naruto, she put her hands on her chest. Naruto, there you are. You had me scared. My name is Keiko. I am very pleased to meet you. She bowed to Naruto. I have been appointed your temporary guardian. I will also be instructing you on several subjects. These will include basic shinobi training, housekeeping, and finances. Do you have any questions? Naruto, dumbfounded, just shook his head no. Okay Naruto, let's get you unpacked. She said with a chipper voice. The rest of the day was spent unpacking the few boxes that had come from his room at the Hyuga compound. They then went into town to get some more supplies. She later showed him how to cook in safety with the stove. You should not be out without escort at nights. Also, it would be better for you to eat here at home. This helped Naruto over some of his sadness about the whole Hyuga issue. She left late that night. I will see you in a couple days. Let me know if you need anything. Until then, just stop by the Hokage's office, they know how to contact me. Goodbye Naruto and good night. That night he heard his door open and some voices, but he was groggy and did not realize that someone had entered his apartment and meant to do him harm. All he heard was, kill the demon. Then there was only blackness. He woke up at the hospital. Keiko and the Hokage were also in the room whispering something. He was only able to catch parts of what was said. He forgot what. Well, at least Kakashi was there in time. He is awake. We'll talk about this later. Hello Naruto, I hear you forgot to lock your door. Sarutobi said with a playful smile. Did Keiko forget to tell you to do that when you leave and when you go to bed at night? I am truly sorry. Keiko and I were talking and she will be staying with you for a couple weeks so that you can come up with a system of how you will learn to live in your new place and to keep any robbers at bay. I hear you can go home today. Naruto suddenly got a big smile. He then realized that the Hokage was talking about the apartment and he was very sad. The next couple weeks went by with no incidents. Keiko took him around to find things he needed and how he could get and use money. She taught him some basics for running and jumping so that he could run a little faster and also so that he could jump farther. When Keiko left after that, he felt so lonely. He did not sleep for the first night. The next day he followed his routine Keiko laid out for him. The following day was not as good as he followed his routine. He was attacked. The lessons Keiko gave him proved invaluable. He was knocked down and was beaten but was able to get up and run away from the attackers. While he did not like the beating, he learned to enjoy the chase. Especially the evasion of his pursuers. After a couple months he learned how to read the villagers, who would try to attack, who would shy away and who would just avoid him. Out of sheer boredom he started pulling pranks on a villager that he knew had beat him a couple times in the last couple months. While the pranks were simple, they were effective in getting the attention of said villagers. His first consisted of a bucket, some string and some water. A simple tripwire trick that would pour the water from the bucket on the head of the jerk who liked to hit him. Also he began to wonder why most stores would not let him shop there. He was not able to find very good clothing. He found a shop that had a supply of orange jumpsuits. He did like orange, and it got him more attention. He mostly ate at home, easy things to fix. He usually ate rice, ramen, a small serving of meat and some vegetable, but as few as possible. As time went on, he went to great lengths to make sure his pranks got attention and that no one would ever get hurt. Keiko and the Hokage tried to tell him to calm down his pranks or stop them. He would explain that he was just getting even with the ones who keep on hurting him. Quietly, the Hokage and Keiko were happy that he found a constructive way to express his feeling and did not want to kill those that would do him harm. About 6 months after starting his life on his own, Keiko and Naruto were walking in the park near the lake. They were suddenly attacked. Keiko told Naruto to run, and he did. All he could hear after her screams were his heartbeat and the steps of someone pursuing him. He felt sharp pains in his back but continued to run, towards the hospital, which was the closest place he knew was near. As the hospital came into sight, a masked figure appeared in front of him. Naruto was feeling very weak and gave up as he could not fight or evade this person. So he gave into the tired feeling that was enveloping him. He collapsed into the arms of said masked man. The man immediately took a shuriken to the mask. He returned the attack, killing the attacker. Then lifting Naruto gently, he moved to the hospital. The mask was broken over what would be the left eye. The shuriken had glanced off his headband. As Kakashi entered the hospital, a nurse immediately took Naruto and put him on a gurney. The nurse carefully removed the shuriken and kunai that were in his back. She then put bandages on the wounds. After taking care of Naruto, the nurse turned to Kakashi. Okay, what happened? Keiko and Naruto were ambushed. We were able to take out all but one of the pursuers, but they got Keiko in the process. I lost one of my men also, but we were able to take out all of them. I wish no one would have gotten hurt, but this was all we could do. Kakashi explained as he removed his mask, showing blood running down his left cheek. I also got hit. Good thing I keep this over that eye, pointing to his headband, or I would also be dead, and so would Naruto. Here, let me check this out. Kagome, send word to the Hokage that Naruto has been attacked again, but this time it was serious. Now let me take a look at you. Naruto will be alright. He was able to minimize the places he was hit, so they are not life-threatening. She dressed Kakashi's wounds and they waited for the Hokage to arrive. The Hokage arrived in a very bad mood. Kakashi, what happened? Where is Keiko? Who is protecting the boy? We were attacked, she is dead, and I want to protect him. As such, I would like to leave Anbu, as I can't just stand by and watch as evil people try to kill Naruto. I will watch over him when missions allow. I know how Anbu works, so I would be a perfect protector of him. It was the Uchihas again. Kakashi answered angrily. Calm down, Kakashi. Do you know what raising a boy entails? He is still growing, he needs guidance, that is why I had Keiko guarding and instructing him. Did you know Keiko was an Uchiha? My guess was that they were after them both. They targeted her for disobeying the head of the clan and him for being who he is. Sarutobi said, shaking his head from side to side with a sad look on his face. What can you offer him other than your protection? There are few in the village that will have anything to do with him. At least the other nobles allow their children to play with him, but that is only sparingly. Quite a few of the Anbu do not like Naruto. What will you do when he enters the academy? Let him do as he wants. He is a prankster that could become very valuable if he could use that on a mission where it is needed for distractions. Heck with that blonde head of his, we could take him on the border with the land of stones and scare the heck out of them, as he looks like the second coming of my old teacher, the fourth Hokage. A look of solace hit Kakashi's face. I liked Keiko, she was good for him. She was probably one of the few Uchihas that cared, like Obito. Kakashi added sadly. I will let him be on his own when he enters the academy. I will train him with the information he will need. I will not teach him jutsu, but I will also not leave him unprepared for life at the academy. Sarutobi nodded his agreement. Then you will be working as a Jonin instructor when you release Naruto. You can have him as a pupil if you like, but I must say you must be fair with all your possible genin students. Kakashi nodded. Naruto was released a few days later and was greeted by Kakashi. Hello Naruto, I will be your new guardian. My name is Kakashi Hatake. I will keep the schedule that Keiko was keeping with you. Also, I will leave a friend with you so that you can stay out of most trouble, like the other night. Kakashi walked Naruto home. Naruto unlocked the door and went in. He turned to Kakashi looking drained. Good night Kakashi. I will see you in the morning. Naruto then locked the door and walked off to bed. He cried himself to sleep, not wanting to let go that Keiko would not be coming back. The next thing he knew, there was a knocking at the door. Naruto, are you awake? Naruto, are you okay? He heard Kakashi yelling from outside his door. Naruto got out of bed and walked to the door. He opened it smiling. This disturbed Kakashi to no end, but looking deeper into his eyes he could see the pain that Naruto was hiding. Well, good morning, and I am glad so see you looking so bright and chipper. So are you ready to learn how to be a ninja? Naruto nodded and looked like he was ready to bounce off the walls, but Kakashi saw that this was not the truth as seen in his eyes. Yes, Kakashi, so we are going to get to play with some kunai and some shuriken. Kakashi smiled behind his mask. No, Naruto, we are not going to work on your weapons training as of yet. We are going to work on your personal training. We are going to get you into better shape. Have you had breakfast yet? Naruto shook his head. Okay, I will take you out to breakfast and we will then get started on physical training. I am sure you want to be strong as a prospective ninja. Am I correct? Naruto nodded agreement. Okay, let's head to my favorite breakfast buffet. They walked quietly down the streets of Konoha, Naruto smiling the whole way. Kakashi watched the reactions of the people as they passed. Most were looks of either anger or disgust, some were of even hatred. There were a few and only a few that looked at the boy in his charge and smiled or acted indifferent. Boy Naruto, you have your work cut out for you. Just as the thought crossed his mind, he felt a twinge of killing intent and he intercepted a kunai while faking a stumble. That was close. Wow, I should watch where I am going. Stumbling over a rock, how silly of me, a Jonin. He hid the weapon quickly in his weapons pouch to be later looked at to find out who had thrown it. How can you be a Jonin if you stumble over a rock that isn't even there, Kakashi-san? Naruto replied with a chuckle. Not even aware that Kakashi had intercepted a dangerous weapon aimed at Naruto. Stopping in front of a restaurant, Kakashi states, well, here we are. Let's go inside, shall we? Naruto nods agreement. They are stopped by the host of the restaurant. You, sir, may enter, but that demon may not. A look of utter disgust on his face. Oh boy, here we go. Kakashi rolled his eyes and moved closer to the host. You will let us eat here, or by Kami I will make sure there is a scene. I also will make sure that the insurance does not pay and you are brought up on charges of breaking the third's law. Do I make myself clear? Kakashi threatened as the host nodded. The host started to sweat very profusely. As you wish, sir. Will you gentlemen come with me? He led them to a booth back in the corner where the guests could not see Naruto. This will be fine. Also, I would like fast service so we will not disturb your other guests too much. We have places to go and things to do. So make it fast. With that, Kakashi ordered breakfast for them both, making Naruto a little annoyed that he was not getting ramen. They finished breakfast with little incident and did not have any more problems with the service. They left as Kakashi walked with Naruto around the park for a couple hours. Naruto was starting to get tired but was enjoying having time with someone who seemed to like to be around him. Kakashi was not sure why the child was getting such a bad rap. He knew about the sealing of the Kyuubi, but the looks and the anger thrown at the boy was disproportionate for what he had done so far. The pranks were harmless, other than ego bruising or would embarrass them. Heck, Kakashi even found some of the pranks amusing. And over the next few months he watched as Naruto would plan and execute elaborate pranks on those that had hurt him. Kakashi became somewhat annoyed when he had to kill a couple other Konoha ninja to protect Naruto. As the months pass, Naruto starts to learn writing and reading. He also learns how to mold chakra. This in itself has its problems. He has such a reserve for a small child that Kakashi is astonished. Naruto during this time also gets to meet Kakashi's summoned dog pack. When Kakashi is off on a mission, he leaves one of the dogs with Naruto to keep an eye on him. After the death of a total of 6 ninja who attempted to attack Naruto when he is being watched by Kakashi, the attacks in his presence stop. On Naruto's next birthday, Kakashi is away and Naruto is with Pakken. They are attacked. Pakken is slightly injured, but Naruto is again injured badly. While Pakken is fighting, Naruto disappears, but he hears a voice say, "I will take him to the hospital." Anbu arrived shortly after that and Pakken tell them that Naruto is with a friend. Naruto wakes up the next morning with a patched up Pakken sitting on his chest. "Hey kid, you are lucky he showed up or you would not have made it." Naruto looking at Pakken with confusion written all over his face. "I tell you that you have friends around here but do not see them. He said not to tell you who he was but to keep up hope. He said that you will be a strong person one day, and he looks forward to seeing you then. Come on Pakken. Who was it?" Naruto asked pleadingly. "I cannot tell you but you will eventually see him. That is all I can tell you. Now heal up and do not take off from here until they discharge you. I will keep an eye out for trouble for you. But I think that this should be safe. By the way, sorry you had such a bad birthday." The fourth sends his best wishes and apologies for the villagers. Naruto weakly smiles. "Why do they keep the worst attacks for my birthday?" "Not sure kid, but they are also mostly drunk from the festival. So you tell me. You are a good kid and nice to boot. Why they attack you is beyond me." Raising his paw, "Here you can feel my pads. They are nice and squishy." Naruto laughed and rubbed Pakken's paw, making the dog really happy. During the day Naruto got a couple visitors, Shikamaru, Shikaku, Ino, Inochi, Choza and Choji. They talked for a little while but eventually all had to go. There was one doctor who kept on checking in on Naruto and looking at his injuries. "You are such a good patient, you make my job so easy. Now you get some rest and we should be able to let you out of here tomorrow afternoon." Looking at Naruto with a strange look on his face. "You know most people would be dead from your injuries. But you will be healed mostly up in a day or so. When we let you out you will need to take it easy for a couple days. Then you should be back to normal." Getting up he walks to the door. "Naruto, keep safe. While I enjoy your visits I would prefer you coming in with a cold rather than near mortal injuries." "Okay." Naruto nods as he leaves the room. "I like that guy, he is not like the other doctors. I smell no fear or anger on him like I do the others." Pakken commented as Naruto looked at him in confusion. "I know that most people do not like me. But this doctor and the nurse seem to like me and treat me well." Naruto looked at Pakken and started talking. "I know what you mean. Most of the villagers seem to either hate me or fear me. I have been beaten, burned, stabbed, thrown, and hurt so many times in ways I don't care to remember, and I am only 6 years old. Why do they keep doing this?" Naruto asked as tears started to roll down his face. "I don't want to cry. But everyone hates me and most want to see me dead. Why? Why do they hate me? How can there be so much hatred for just one kid? What did I ever do?" Naruto laid back and buried his head in the pillow and cried himself to sleep. He woke up a few hours later when Pakken licked his face. "Hey Naruto, you have to get up now." Naruto, looking half asleep and confused, asked, "Why?" Pakken was sniffing the air. "Something is not right and we have to get out of here. I think we are going to get attacked again. So you ready? Get your keys and some pants on." Naruto did as Pakken ordered. "Okay, fix the pillows like you are still in the bed and we will slip out the window. Good thing we are only on the second floor." Naruto fixed the pillows and covered them up with the sheets and then opened the window and jumped out. As they left the hospital grounds they heard a cry of, "Die you demon! Die!" Naruto and Pakken were well on their way to Naruto's apartment when they saw a mob forming near his house. "Not good," Pakken commented. "We can go around them but they seem to want to go to your place. We should shadow them from the woods." Naruto nodded and walked with Pakken into the woods. Wait, Naruto, I smell a dog and an Inuzuka. Greetings, little one. A feral-looking woman was standing in front of them. No need to worry, Naruto and Pakken. You are with friends. Naruto then noticed a large gray and white wolf with an eye patch. I am Sume Inuzuka. This here is my friend and companion Kuromaru. Pointing at the large dog with the eye patch, as the dog nodded. Now you can either deal with the mob or come with me and be safe. I will send some people to get some of your stuff for you. Will that be okay, Naruto? How do you know my name? Naruto was getting scared now. This woman looked as wild as the untamed forest with large red tattoos on her face looking like fangs. Sume laughed. You are known to us. We were supposed to work with you on your abilities to track, but the Hyugas seem to not have the time to send you to us. Now come boy, we will talk of this over dinner while your so-called protector is out of town. Naruto followed. He smells of fox, Sume. Kuromaru quietly said. Yes, I know, so keep the other dogs in line for our guest. Sume responded with a smile. She led Naruto and Pakken to the Inuzuka estate. A large two-story building with a large kennel attached. Naruto was amazed at the sight of the place, and the smell too. He was a little nervous and could not tell why. All the dogs came up to him and sniffed him. This was a little unsettling for him as he was not used to dogs. The other members of the Inuzuka clan came and greeted Naruto, even a boy his age named Kiba. You smell funny. I know the smell, I just can't place it. Kiba exclaimed. I like to eat ramen, a lot. Maybe that is it. Naruto replied smiling. Nah, I can smell the ramen, but there is another familiar scent on you I just can't place. Ow! Kiba yelped when Sume smacked him on the back of the head. You will treat our guest nicely no matter what he smells like. Now let's get some food ready and go to bed. He will be staying with us until Kakashi returns. Any questions? Sume shouted to the clan in the middle of the hall. None had a problem with it. Tomorrow we will start to train you in hunting and foraging. Sound good, Naruto? Naruto nodded. They had a filling dinner, but it was not ramen, and Naruto was happy to get some of his clothes from his apartment. Being in a hospital gown and orange pants was not his idea of comfortable, and there were the bandages that were all over his body. He slept well even though he could smell dog or wet dog everywhere. He knew he was at least safe for the night. The next morning they went on a search for rabbits on the property. For some reason Naruto was able to find them more easily than the dogs. He just seemed to be able to tell where they were. Naruto stayed with the Inuzuka for another week before Kakashi returned. They had a small party to celebrate his 6th birthday and were surprised that it was better than the ones he had at the Hyuga compound. Kiba and Naruto got along famously and started to have mock fights with each other, neither winning, as the whole idea was to have fun. The Inuzuka had Kakashi enroll Naruto in the academy so that he could learn how to read and write and start to learn how to be a shinobi. The first day at the academy, Naruto walked with the Inuzuka. To his surprise, he saw Hinata. He waved and she waved back. This made Naruto very happy until the Hyuga guards interposed themselves between Naruto and Hinata, all with evil stares. When they were seated, the instructor intentionally put Naruto in a corner and gave him a book to work on. He was also not able to bring it home. Hinata attempted to talk to Naruto, as did a few of the other students, but were blocked by the instructor. Naruto was not given recess with the other students. 2 years from graduation, in the instructor's lounge. Yes, Lord Hiashi, how may I help the head of the Hyuga clan? Uruka asked. I would like you to take Naruto under your wing and keep him safe, because of being the head of the clan can only help him so much. I know that the Kyuubi killed your mother and father, looking sad. He is not the Kyuubi. He is very good boy, misguided, but good. I hope you will come to see this. But please do not show him too much favoritism. Let him become who he will become. I would like you to help him along as a favor, but I hope you will eventually do it out of your own concern for a student. Also, I have the permission of the Hokage to talk to you about him being the container of the 9 tails. Quote. Uruka nodded. I have seen him suffering. I will do what I can. But I will not necessarily go easy on him. Hiashi nods. I understand. As a second favor, I would also like you to keep an eye on my daughter Hinata. We hope she will have what it takes to become my heir. I am afraid she will be too much like her mother, and too soft. Uruka eyed him. How so? Hiashi just says, you will see. Well, they are only a couple years out from graduating from the academy. I will devote some of my time to meet them both and see what I can do to help. Uruka responded with a smile. Later that night, Itachi is standing over the dead bodies of his aunt and uncle confronting Sasuke. Foolish little brother. You will live because you are too weak. If you want to kill me, hate me, despise me. For only when you possess these eyes, only then will you be able to kill me. With that comment, Itachi left the Hidden Leaf village. A year later, Naruto is practicing shuriken throwing. His aim is deteriorating due to extreme fatigue. Hinata is watching him intently, from behind a tree. Naruto collapses and Hinata has a look of deep concern on her face, but does not move from her place immediately. Please get up, Naruto, Hinata thinking to herself. After 10 minutes of him not moving, she runs to his side. He is breathing heavily and sweating profusely. She cradles his head in her lap. I hope he is okay. Hiashi appears behind his daughter. Are you concerned for him? A look of fear appears on her face. Why, yes, father, I am. He pushed himself too far. I am scared for him. I am sorry if I broke any of the rules the council set up. Hiashi looks down upon the boy and inwardly smiles. Then we shall get him some help. And the rules were for Uzumaki-san, not you. He picked him up and then they headed off to the hospital. They arrive at the hospital. Hiashi brings Naruto to the admitting area. Name of patient, and condition. The nurse asked. Naruto Uzumaki, extreme fatigue and minor cuts. Several of the nurses gasped at the name, one just smiled. The smiling nurse took Naruto from Hiashi's arms, exclaiming, back again are we, young man? Whatsoever are we going to do with you? She carried him to a waiting gurney. Hinata watched with deep concern. She then looked up at her father's reassuring smile. He is in good hands now. Let's go home. She smiled and nodded agreement. Later that evening at the Hyuga compound in the council chamber, an argument is going on. No, we will not have that demon in our midst anymore, yelled a council member. He is not a demon and he is the savior of this village. I am only asking that he be allowed to come back and live here to protect him for harm. He after all is keeping the demon at bay. Hiashi exclaimed. What next? You would have him marry your firstborn. She is as of yet not a worthy heir as it is. Hiashi fuming. You would speak to the main branch so. I should kill you where you stand. His anger is hitting the boiling point. Hinata's future is for me, her father, to determine at this point, and for her to determine as she get older. Back to Naruto. He is regularly beaten, stabbed, burned, and he is ridiculed by ones such as yourselves. He is working hard and is improving. He defended and protected my heir on several occasions. You would have him die out there where he is attacked on regular basis. He doesn't even understand why they try to kill him. And the law forbids us from telling him why he is so hated. You old prunes. His death would be a benefit to the village and we would be rid of the demon once and for all. Bigots all of you, you are not worthy to be a member of the council. You sound more like an Uchiha, not a Hyuga. Would you have me marry off my oldest to the Uchihas? Hiashi sighed. We are looking out for the good of the clan, not one individual. Most of us bear the child no ill will, but fear of what he might become is what we fear. We have seen the prankster side of him. As for a possible union of the Uchihas and the Hyuga, would that be so bad? An elderly Hyuga explains. Then we should continue to show him the benefits of human kindness, not the evils of hate and ungratefulness. I am done here if you say no. Hiashi looks around the chamber only to find a couple of people who appear to care. The rest either have looks of disgust or cannot look him in the eyes. He turns and leaves saying, I can tell what the decision is just by the looks on your faces. Good night. The next morning at the Hokage's office, Sarutobi is listening to Hiyashi's report on how it went with the Hyuga clan council. I tell you they would not listen to reason. The boy needs a family, a home and needs guidance. I understand where you stand. I can do little for him myself other than visit him and try to make his life easier. Kakashi is working with him and the Inuzuka are also working with him. Sarutobi smoothing his beard, we enrolled him in the academy as planned. Now he can approach other children, and maybe find some more friends. I know the Nara, Akamaiki, and Inuzuka families let their children play with him. He seems to be doing fine. His pranks are at an all-time high, especially since the Keiko incident. Hiyashi's eyes appeared happy. I will also help out with money if need be. I have already got someone who is doing what you say as we speak, but he does it out of concern from his heart. Also, I intend to try to honor my promise to Minato. If Hinata will have him, she will be betrothed to Naruto. But we cannot let anyone know. I understand, and agree. That is good, you are giving her a choice in the matter. Oh, I am not giving her a choice, she has already made it. Hiyashi smiling, she is always following him and trying to get his attention but has not succeeded. We will give it time, they are only children anyways. And anyways he has saved her life. How can he forget that? How can I forget it? And when he approaches her he is always nice and kind to her. Also I am afraid I am going to have to shun her to help improve her abilities. I do not wish it, but the clan wants her to become the heir she is supposed to be. Quote, I understand, as I said I will do what I can for Naruto as I also care for him as I do all the people of this village. I wish you luck in your dealings with your clan and your daughter's development. I hope after this hardship she will like her present of being betrothed to Naruto. I will let her know on her 15th birthday that she is betrothed. He had a sly smile on his face. I will let her know that she will either have to find someone before her 18th birthday or I will have to honor my agreement. On her 18th I will inform her that it is Naruto, but she will have to get him to agree to it. Also I understand that he will inherit the Namikaze estate when he turns 18. Am I correct? Sarutobi had a sly smile on his face. Yes, that is true, and it is for Hokage's eyes only, document. How do you know about this? Hiyashi chuckled. Well, Minato and I talked as our wives. Not sure how they will run the Hyuga affairs, but when I retire I will try to make the problems as minimal as possible. Later the next day, just inside the Hyuga dojo, Hiyashi talks to Kurenai, sounding very harsh. Do what you will with her, she is not a worthy successor. She is even less than her sister who is 5 years her junior. Take her, and do what you must. I am sorry my daughter, this is what must be done. I hope in time you will understand. A little over a year later has us following Naruto as he is chased by a couple Chunin. You can't catch me, Naruto yells while jumping from roof to roof. Naruto! Yell his pursuers. Inside an elderly man is painting but stops as hears approaching footsteps. Lord Hokage! Lord Hokage! Sarutobi looked annoyed at the disruption while he was painting. What is it this time? And it had better be important. Grimacing, and don't tell me it's Naruto. Both of the men who entered the room looked nervous, but it is Naruto. The Hokage rolled his eyes. What did he do this time? He asked. One of the men stated, he defaced the faces of the Hokages. Back outside the boy is still being chased. He jumps down to the street and appears to jump back up to the rooftops. Both of his pursuers continue down the street. The fence seems to shimmer and a sheet is lowered revealing the boy. Losers, he said as he was sticking his tongue out. Figures you'd fall for that. Naruto. Naruto is so startled he falls down. Iruka is breathing heavy, says, I finally caught you. What do you want, Iruka-sensei? What are you doing here? Exclaimed Naruto as he is rubbing his butt. Iruka looks really angry. No. What are you doing here? You should be in class. Iruka pulls out some rope as Naruto attempts to escape but is tied up and dragged back to class. Back in the classroom, most of the kids are snickering as Naruto is brought in all tied up. All but one who has a look of concern on her face. She has pale lavender eyes and short dark hair. Oh Naruto-kun, I hope you are alright. I hope Iruka-sensei did not hurt you. Alright Naruto, since you decided to skip the lesson we will review, exclaimed Iruka. A collective, "Oh," rang out from the other students. Okay, we will practice using the henge, or transformation jutsu. Okay, first up Sakura Haruno. Sakura transforms into Iruka, as Iruka checks her off his list. Sasuke Uchiha is next as Sakura attempts to get his attention with her ability to transform. He ignores her and transforms himself into Iruka. Don't screw this up Naruto. Shikamaru exclaims. Yeah, we always pay for your screw-ups. Come on Naruto, give us a break. Ino added in. Like I care. Naruto commented. Down the line of children Hinata was watching Naruto and thinking, do your best Naruto, as she was pushing her fingertips together. Transform. Naruto yells. A beautiful and girl with blonde ponytails appears, except for whiffs of smoke covering her most vital areas. This is my sexy jutsu. Iruka is flabbergasted, his jaw drops and he falls over backwards, nose bleeding. What? He gets back up putting some tissue in both of his nostrils. Naruto is on the floor laughing so hard his sides ache. Naruto, what type of jutsu is that? Wait. Don't tell me and never do it again. Iruka finally gets the class back to some semblance of order. Tomorrow will be your finals. So practice hard. Iruka happily exclaimed as the students left for the day. The following day the class is assembled for the day. Okay, today the final will be on the clone jutsu. A universal round of came from the class. Naruto is called into the next room to take his test. He begins to build up chakra, and attempts to create a clone jutsu. A pathetic, almost comical version of Naruto was laying face down next to him. You fail, yelled Iruka. Naruto looked very sad and downtrodden. Come on Iruka-sensei. We should pass him. Naruto perked up at Mizuki's comments. This is his third attempt at trying to pass, meaning he really does want to become a ninja. And he did replicate. I understand Mizuki-sensei, but we cannot pass him. All the other students made at least 3 replications. He was only able to make 1. And look at it. It's pathetic. I am sorry but we cannot pass him. Iruka explained. Outside of the academy, children are celebrating with their families as they graduate ninja school. Off on a tree swing Naruto sits side saddle, looking very depressed. Look at him, at least he didn't graduate. One woman exclaimed. It would be disastrous if he had passed. Because of what? Another woman says, only to be interrupted. You know we are not supposed to talk about that. Hinata, while happy, looks sadly upon Naruto as did her father, just as Mizuki approaches Naruto. Hinata looks at her father, who looks sad for an instant then turns to his daughter and smiles. Naruto and Mizuki disappear as Sarutobi talks to Iruka. We need to talk Iruka. We see Naruto and Mizuki are sitting on a balcony somewhere in town. Iruka-sensei is tough but he is not against you. He is just hard on you because he wants you to be strong with all his heart. Naruto perks up at Mizuki's comment, but you know there is another way to graduate. I could tell you about it if you are interested in listening. Naruto's eyes lit up with there being an alternative way to graduate. Later that evening at his home, Iruka is remembering the night of terror 12 years ago and is shaken from his memories by a hard knock on his door. He gets up and finds Mizuki waiting. It's Naruto. He's stolen the scroll. You don't mean the scroll of sealing, do you? Iruka questioned as Mizuki nodded. In the woods in a training ground near a shack, Naruto has a scroll and is opening it. Now let's see. Multi-shadow clone jutsu. Ah, man. I would have to be a clone jutsu, my worst jutsu. Unknown to Naruto, someone is watching him. What are you doing, Naruto? I am sorry you did not pass. I wish I could have helped you study so that you could have passed. But I am not strong enough, even though I know you are strong. Hinata continued to watch from a distance as he keeps on trying to do the jutsu. She continues to watch as he nears exhaustion, and starts to move out to talk to Naruto but notices someone coming, so she returns to her hiding spot. Iruka stands over the tired Naruto. Found you. Wow. Iruka-sensei, you found me fast. I was only able to learn one jutsu. Naruto happily explains. Wow, he has been training. I can tell. Iruka thinks, what do you think you are up to? Well, you're going to let me pass if I can show you this killer jutsu I learned, Naruto happily exclaims. What do you mean, let you pass? Iruka questions while still breathing hard. Well, if someone learns a jutsu from this scroll they automatically pass, right? Hinata thinks. Could it be possible to pass another way? No, I am sure they would not do that. Iruka looks confused, asking, who told you that? Mizuki-sensei. Why? Naruto now is beginning to feel confused and worried. Iruka feels strong killing intent and suddenly pushes Naruto to the side yelling, look out. He is hit by a dozen kunai. Naruto looks on as his sensei is now bleeding from several wounds, the smell of blood and killing intent is thick in the air. I should have known, Mizuki. I should have known you were after the scroll of sealing. Naruto, run away, don't let Mizuki have the scroll of sealing. All Naruto could do is look on in horror as his two sensei fought. Naruto, give me the scroll, Mizuki said calmly. It's a lie, yelled Iruka. Hinata was also struck with terror, not understanding what was going on and why her sensei were arguing and what it had to do with Naruto. A lie, I'll tell you about lying. They have been lying to you all your life, Naruto, Mizuki explained only to be interrupted by Iruka. You can't. It's forbidden. Mizuki ignoring Iruka. 12 years ago the Kyuubi was sealed inside you, Naruto. You are the nine-tailed fox. You are the demon. Now die. Mizuki pulls a large shuriken off his back and throws it at Naruto. Hinata at first is filled with fear. No, Naruto is too kind to be the Kyuubi. I don't believe it. Someone must stop it. I love you. Please don't die. She collapses and starts to weep uncontrollably. Naruto starts to scramble away only to falter. Get down, Naruto. Naruto attempts to cover his head waiting for the end. He hears the shuriken hit something but does not feel anything. He slowly turns to see Iruka kneeling over him, in obvious pain. Why? All Naruto could say was, because we both are alike, you and I didn't we both know the pain of not having parents. When my parents died I tried to hide the pain by becoming the class clown, and my grades started to suffer. The loneliness was so unbearable. I know that feeling. And I could have been there more for you. I am sorry, Naruto. The pain was welling up in Naruto so all he could do is run. Naruto. Iruka reaches up calling to him, silently pleading with him to not run. Mizuki jumps down and dodges the large shuriken that Iruka pulled out of his back and threw at Mizuki. You know what is going to happen. Once he gets his mind made up nothing can change it. He is going to pour all his rage into the scroll and then he is going to destroy the village. After I kill him I am going to come back and finish you off, you weakling Iruka. Mizuki says laughingly. Hinata finally gets control of her feelings. I must help Naruto. He is hurting. There must be something I can do. But I am too weak to fight Mizuki-sensei. What can I do? She looks back the area where fighting had occurred and only a blood stain remained. Naruto is jumping through the trees and suddenly Iruka appears near him. Mizuki was lying. Give me the scrolls, Naruto. Naruto changes direction and rams into Iruka. On the ground Iruka asks, how did you know I was not? Changes to Mizuki, Iruka. Naruto sits down and pulls the scroll off his back. He then transforms into Iruka, because I am Iruka. Why are you protecting him? He is a beast. Mizuki accused. How's that? Questioned Iruka. He'll pour all his rage into the scroll and destroy everything. Hinata quietly gasped, wanting to go comfort Naruto. Hiyashi further back was just shaking his head as he listened to Mizuki. You have not a clue about the boy. I hope he proves you wrong and I do not have to interfere. You're right. Iruka agrees. Naruto thinking. So it's true. Iruka-sensei never believed in me. He thinks I am some kind of beast, some kind of freak, while he continues to cry. That is how beasts are, but that is not how Naruto is. Naruto suddenly realizes that Iruka does care about him. He's nothing like that. Naruto is one of a kind. He works hard, puts his whole heart into it, sure he messes up sometimes. And everyone jumps on him. But his suffering only makes him stronger. That is what separates him from being a beast. So you're wrong, he's nothing like the nine-tailed fox. He is Naruto Uzumaki of the village hidden in the leaves. Huh, you really think I believe that drivel? Iruka, I was going to save you for later, but I changed my mind. You're finished. Pulling the second large shuriken off his back and spinning to get ready to throw it. He is suddenly hit in the gut by Naruto. Naruto, Iruka says, surprised. And two other sets of eyes are surprised to see Naruto. Hiyashi and Hinata both are in different locations looking on. Not bad for a little punk, Mizuki exclaims as he stands up. Hinata yells in her mind, be careful, Naruto. As Hiyashi thinks, we shall now see if I was right or the council was right. Please, Naruto, prove me right. If you ever lay a finger on my sensei, I'll kill you. Naruto says angrily. Such big words, I can completely destroy you with just one move. Mizuki retorted. Take your best shot, fool. I will give it back to you 1,000-fold. Naruto boldly declares. Let's see you try. Show me what you can do, nine-tailed fox. Naruto crosses his fingers into a hand sign while gathering chakra. Shadow clone jutsu, declares as hundreds of Naruto fill the clearing surrounding Mizuki. Come on, if you are not going to come to me, I am going to come after you. All onlookers are stunned. Those aren't illusions, those are actual clones. He's mastered an extremely advanced jutsu. Iruka smiled with admiration. Hiyashi turns with a smile. Good job, Naruto. I expect to see good things from you in the future. And Hinata, for now you can hide in the shadows, but please come out and talk to him. He could use your companionship. Hinata leaves in awe, but still disappointed that he did not pass graduation. Goodbye, Naruto, I hope to see you soon. Naruto proceeds to charge with his clone army and pummels the confused Mizuki. Naruto laughs as he looks at the beaten and bruised Mizuki. Guess I went a little overboard. Naruto chuckles and scratches his head as he turns to Iruka. Iruka teasingly says, close your eyes. Naruto complies, as Iruka takes off his headband and puts it on Naruto. Okay, you can open your eyes. Naruto sees a smiling Iruka, minus his headband, you graduate. Yeah, thank you, Iruka-sensei. Tackling his teacher. Naruto, let's have some ramen tonight. Tonight I will take you out for ramen to celebrate. From here on out it will only get harder, but if I tell you that now it will only ruin the moment. Maybe I will tell you later. Iruka thought. Naruto arrives early to class. Shikamaru notices him and asks, why are you here? Naruto quickly explains as he is noticed by a certain dark-haired girl. I graduated, see Shikamaru. See, a regulation headband. Shikamaru just shakes his head and puts a, whatever, look on his face. Hinata's heart soars with his words, I am glad we will not be separated, congratulations, Naruto. Naruto walks over and takes a seat close to Sasuke, but not noticing that he was there. Sakura and Ino both enter the room somewhat out of breath. Sakura notices Sasuke and smiles. Naruto, noticing Sakura, thinks, there's Sakura, hey, she is smiling at me. As she approaches he says, hey Sakura. She shoves him out of the way, exclaiming, out of the way. Naruto is left on the floor nursing a bruise on the head and one in the ego. Sakura starts to prattle on to Sasuke, who seems to want to ignore her. Naruto jumps up on the desk in front of Sasuke, eyeing him. What do they see in him? He is not so great. Sasuke notices him and just says, what loser? This infuriates Naruto even more, looking at Sakura then back at Sasuke. The girls are gathering near the desk and start yelling, stay away from our Sasuke. Another student bumps Naruto, who then accidentally kisses Sasuke. Both realize this and start coughing and spitting at this incident. But the girls are not happy that Naruto took Sasuke's first kiss, as they wanted that privilege. Naruto feels a strong killing intent. Looking over at the girls, they are all mad and Sakura is cracking her knuckles. Naruto, The girls proceed to pummel him. In the Hokage's office, the Hokage has several Jonin assembled and starts to talk about the teams. There goes Naruto again in the middle of trouble as usual. A group of Jonin looked on as Naruto was pummeled by the girls in the class. The crystal ball then moves on to Sasuke, as he contemplates who is being shown. May I have Naruto on my team? Kurenai asked. As there seems to be some bad blood between the Uchiha and Naruto, also it would help my team out having someone with his attitude and abilities if what Iruka said was correct. Sarutobi pondered the information for a moment. Okay, are you sure? He can be quite a handful. Kurenai nods. Kakashi, would you have any problems with trading Kiba Inuzuka for Naruto? Kurenai asks. No, not really. Heck, it might even improve their chances of making the cut. Sasuke will be enough of a handful without having the Uchiha's biggest enemy on the same team. I am not even sure that he knows why he does not like Naruto. And as of right now, Naruto only likes two Uchiha and they are both dead. He is like a nephew to me, so please be good to him as he has a special spot in my heart. Also, I would not like to show favoritism as I have done some training of Naruto and he would ruin my test to boot. Kakashi added. Iruka enters the classroom. Okay, settle down. We will now place you on teams. The students started to get seated. Team 7 will be Kiba Inuzuka, Sakura Haruno, and Sasuke Uchiha. Kiba and Sasuke rolled their eyes as Sakura cheers. Next, Team 8 will include Hinata Hyuga, Shino Aburame, and Naruto Uzumaki. Hinata looked very happy, Shino impassive, and Naruto slightly let down by the news. Team 10 is Ino Yamanaka, Choji Akamaiki, and Shikamaru Nara. Ino also looked less than pleased with her team. Why do I have to get stuck with you and Food Boy? Ino asked Shikamaru. Why not Sasuke? Luck, I guess, Shikamaru quipped. Why is it that jerk Sasuke? What is it with him anyways? Oh well, who can figure out girls? Hinata looking at Naruto as he disappointingly stares at Sakura. I am glad we are on the same team, Naruto-kun, she exclaims quietly. Naruto turns and changes his sad face in an instant to a great big grin. You know it, Hinata. We will be the greatest team. She knows this is an act, trying to cover for him not being on the team with Sakura. Yay, at least I don't have to be a team with that jerk Sasuke. I suddenly feel killing intent. Hinata closes her eyes as Sakura, who has moved behind Naruto, slams her fist into the back of his head, which bounces off the desk. What did you say, Naruto? Sakura angrily asks. His head slowly rises from the desk with blood flowing from his lip and nose. Please Sakura, Hinata starts to whisper. Please refrain from injuring my teammate before we have gotten to know him, Haruno, Shino interrupts. Shino speaking causes Sakura to immediately go back to her seat without apologizing, but also she returns a few shades paler than she left. As Sakura returns to her seat saying quietly, what a weirdo, glad I am not on that team. Kiba just nods and giggles as Sasuke gets up and starts to leave. You are free to do as you like until you are to meet your new Jonin teachers after lunch. Goodbye and good luck. Iruka says as he leaves the room. Naruto wipes the blood of his lip and nose and looks around confused. Huh, what happened? Hinata starts to stutter and pressing her index fingers together while blushing. Sakura, is what happened? She hit you on the head. Would you like to eat lunch together as a team? Shino says, nodding to Hinata. She nods a thank you. I know I do not speak much, but I would like to get to know my teammates some before we meet our new sensei. Would this be acceptable, Naruto? I know you from how you act in class, but I would like to understand, know you better. Naruto scratching behind his head. Sure, that sounds great, this is a first. Well, other than Iruka-sensei, Uncle Kakashi and the old man. They will take me out to ramen occasionally. I like it, and the ramen especially, the pork, the miso. Shall we go? Shino interrupts. All three get up and head out to one of the practice fields on the academy grounds. Hinata bows her head holding a large bento box, I have made enough for all three of us. She offers, blushing slightly, if that is okay with you. Naruto looks at her questioningly, and then bursts into a big grin. Wow, that is great. Did you make this yourself, Hinata? She nods. Wow, you're incredible. Believe it. Hinata turns bright red. Hinata hands a small box to each of them on the blanket that was holding the three lunches. Naruto-kun? Hinata quietly asked. Yes, Hinata. I am sorry about what my clan did. I am glad to see you again. I am so happy. Naruto looking confused, he then looks down. I know the clan did not want me, but we will have plenty of time to talk about that later. Looking away for a minute to hide his sadness, he then turned to Shino. So what can you do with your bugs now? I have not seen or talked to you, like you talk that much anyways, he grins, in a couple years. Shino looked at Naruto impassively. I have improved my control of them. I do apologize for them attacking you last time, but I was low on chakra and they were very hungry. Naruto grinned and scratched the back of his head. That is okay, I forgive them. But boy did I wake up feeling drained. Munching on the lunch, boy Hinata, this is great, not quite ramen but great. This made Hinata blush an even brighter red. Arigato, Naruto-kun. Hinata replied. They finished lunch without much more being said. They headed back to the classroom. When they entered, they saw the other students sitting as teams, quietly chatting amongst themselves. Naruto sat down in between Hinata and Shino. She noticed that he had an angry look on his face, looking at Sasuke. I wonder why he doesn't like him. I personally can't stand how the girls all fawn over him. I know his clan was wiped out by his older brother, but he treats people like they are nobody. I hope Naruto and I can patch up our friendship since the clan can no longer forbid me to see him. Hinata blushed at the idea of rekindling her friendship with Naruto and possibly tell him how she really feels about him. Earth to Hinata. Naruto caught her attention by waving his hand in front of her eyes. Our sensei is here. Let's go. Shino is down waiting for us with her. She wakes up from her daydream, and looks down to see Kurenai standing next to Shino. The both got up and headed down to Kurenai. She led them to the top of the academy to a couple of benches in the arboretum. I am Kurenai Uehi. I will be your sensei. I would like to know a little about you, as I am sure your teammates would too. Please tell me your likes, dislikes, hobbies, and the like. I will go first. I am Kurenai Uehi. I like genjutsu. I dislike arrogant people who are full of themselves, and I have several hobbies, of which I will not elaborate. I know Hinata, so you can go next. Anyo. I am Hinata Hyuga, of the Hyuga clan. I like. She turned red and looked directly at Naruto. Friends, I dislike being weak and those who pick on the weak. My hobbies include pressing flowers. My dream is to be acknowledged by my father and someone else. Hinata bowed to her teammates. Kurenai looked at Naruto and nodded. I am Naruto Uzumaki. I like ramen, especially that from Ichiraku's. I hate the 3 minutes it takes to fix instant ramen. My hobbies include tasting different ramen and studying plants. And my dream is to be Hokage, so that I will be respected by everyone. Believe it. Kurenai nodded to Shino. I am Shino Aburame. I like quiet. I dislike the needless killing of insects. My hobbies include collecting and categorizing insects. I wish to become the head of my clan. Kurenai smiled. Good. I hope this team will work well together. I do have a test that will require you to be at training ground 14 in the morning, say about 9 a.m. Also, I would like to talk to Naruto alone. After which you can catch up with him, it should be only a few minutes. Quote. Both Hinata and Shino got up to leave, Hinata though hesitating to leave as if she wanted to talk to Naruto. Hinata, I will only be a minute, I will get you when we are done here so you can wait at the top of the stairs. Hinata bowed and walked off. Sensei, why did you want to talk to me? Naruto, I know about you and what you carry. Naruto had a look of fear on his face and started to back away from his teacher. She put a reassuring hand on his shoulder and a relaxed smile. Relax, Naruto. I do not fear you and I do not harbor you any ill will. other than your taste in clothes. This immediately got him somewhat angry, but knowing that there were two reasons he wore orange, one he liked it and two it made him show up in a crowd. I know you contain the QB, and yes I said contain, not are. He relaxed a little as Kurenai continued. There are a few reasons I wanted you on my team. One, you were slated to be on the team with Sasuke Uchiha, whom you seem to have problems working with. I know you know Hinata, and I am sure you can work better with her than him. Also I noticed your fascination with one Sakura Haruno. I can tell you have a crush on her. Drop it now, because I do not see her changing anytime soon. And she is rather abusive to you no matter how nice you are to her. 2. I need a close-in fighter with a huge chakra reserve, that would be you. Someone who can cause a major distraction if we get in trouble and know how to get away with little or no effort, you I know can do that. I have heard the stories of how you have been able to escape from Anbu members when they chase you. This brought a giggle to Naruto. I know you have worked with the Inuzuka. Did they help you work on your sense of smell? Naruto nodded. I would like you to take the role as guardian and all-around helper in the team. That would be learning your first steps to becoming the Hokage. With your shadow clones you can help the team out in so many ways. Knowing that you have protected Hinata on numerous occasions made the choice of you even easier. I would also like you to get some different clothes for when you are on missions, but you will have to pass my test tomorrow before we talk about you changing your attire. Naruto was left to think about what Kurenai had said to him. She mentioned to the QB but did not talk to him in a demeaning way. He started to smile and think that not all people in the village hated him, sort of like it was a few years ago, but he did feel lonely at that thought, being asked to leave the Hyuga compound and told not to talk or have anything to do with Hinata outside of the academy. That hurt him deeply. He started to cry at the thought of how much he missed playing and talking with Hinata. Just then a hand was set upon his shoulder. He jumped. Sorry Naruto-kun, I didn't mean to scare you. Hinata said shyly. Naruto wiped his eyes then put on a big grin. It's okay Hinata. I was just thinking about what Kurenai said to me and about what happened with. He trailed off looking sad again. Are you thinking about when the clan asked you to leave? She turned her head looking ashamed and ready to cry. I am sorry Naruto. I had nothing to do with that. It hurt me deeply as you were such a friend, I am sure it hurt you more. She started to cry. I apologize for what my clan did to you, it was terrible. You were all alone and even worse you ended up all alone again. Naruto looked on in awe as this is more than Hinata would say at one time, since they started the academy. I am glad though, we are friends still aren't we? The look of longing and sadness were evident in her eyes. Yes. He said reassuringly. I don't hold what happened against you, as you are you and not your clan. I am sure they had their reasons. A look of anger crossed his face for an instant, but quickly changed back to the smiling one she knew. I am glad. I hope we can work well as a team together. I am sure that Shino will make sure that we do not screw up too badly. But I am worried, Hinata replied. She started to think about what Naruto was talking about. About you and your secret, and how you have to bear such a burden. As I think back you have always been strong. You saved me so many times I can hardly count. And you were there when my mother died, to help me through some of that, and then what the clan did to you was so cruel. How could they send you away like that? Away from the clan, from me, I needed you, I need you, she started to cry. I am sorry Hinata. I'm sorry. He put his arm around her to comfort her as best he could. It will be all right, believe it. They stayed that way for several minutes until Hinata's sobbing subsided. A noise came from outside the arboretum. He heard a few familiar voices. Kakashi he knew, and Sakura's also. They moved from the bench where he was holding Hinata who had stopped crying and to the edge of the opening. Kakashi stated, okay, tell me a little about yourselves. Tell me your likes, your dislikes, hobbies and dreams for the future. Sakura questioned, what do you mean sensei? What are you looking for? Could you show us what you mean? Kakashi sighed. Okay, my name is Kakashi Hatake, my likes, I like a lot of things. I hate lots of things. Hobbies, I have lots of hobbies. And my dreams are my own. Okay, your turn. That was useless. All we got from him was his name, Sakura exclaimed as Kiba nodded. Okay. I am Sakura Haruno. Who I like. She started to get giddy and looked at Sasuke. And what do you hate? Kakashi asked. Figures girls her age are more interested in boys than being a ninja. Naruto, was all she said. Hinata watched Naruto visibly slump as if someone had hit him with a pipe. She grabbed his arm and led him away. She knew this would hurt him, hearing that someone whom he liked hated him. They got down the stairs well enough. He seemed to be on autopilot. She led him home. He opened the door with his key, more out of habit not out of realizing that he was home or anything. She moved him to his bed then set his alarm as he just slumped on the bed and fell asleep. She watched him for an hour or two, watching him cry in his sleep. I hope he will recover by tomorrow. I must leave you now, Naruto. I will come by in the morning to check up on you. She left quietly, closing the door behind her. The next morning Naruto wakes up realizing he is at home and the alarm is going off. It is 7 a.m. He goes into the bathroom and cleans himself up. How did I get home? The last thing I remember is talking with Hinata about the Hyuga clan, and then I heard, he stopped right after pulling on his boxers. Sakura. She said she hates me. I guess Hinata took me home. Man, she saw this mess. I hope she will still want to be on my team. What am I supposed to do? I hope she does not hate me too. A knock on the door woke him from his thoughts. Another knock. Just a minute. He quickly dressed and opened the door. Anyo. Good morning, Naruto-kun. I thought it would be nice to walk to the training grounds together. Would that be okay? Hinata asked, standing at the door. Naruto looking a little depressed. Are you sure? Will it be okay? Are you sure you are not mad at me? I mean well, I guess. He bows deeply. Domo arigato, for bringing me home yesterday. I really apologize if I caused you any bother. He sheepishly scratched the back of his head. Why? Yesterday was not a bother. You are never a bother. I was glad I could help you. We could talk as we go to the training area if you like. I am sorry Sakura was so mean. I would never say something like that. I mean, I like you. She turned beet red and passed out. Naruto quickly caught her and brought her into his apartment and laid her on the couch. She woke up a few minutes later. What happened? Why am I in your apartment? She smelled something cooking, or is it tea? Naruto entered the room with tray with 2 cups and a bowl. Tea. I can fix you something if you have not had breakfast. Would you like anything? Hinata took the cup and shook her head to the offer of breakfast. He started to eat. Sorry to eat in front of you, but I have not eaten yet. That is okay, Naruto-kun. I have already eaten before I came here. When you are done we can go. Hinata, you passed out, so I just put you on the couch and fixed some tea and some food for me. Since I remember the Hyuga compound, they would make sure we had food before we would go anywhere. A sad look crossed his face. Sorry, just remembering when I was there. It is okay, Naruto-kun. Are we ready to leave? Naruto nodded as he finished his bowl and put it in the sink. He gathered the cups and put them in the sink, grabbed his ninja tools and locked the door as they left. So Hinata, what do you think the test will be on? Naruto asked as they headed to the practice field. I have no idea, Naruto-kun. I guess we will see when we get there. Hinata answered. They approached training area 14 and saw that Shino and Kurenai were already waiting for Hinata and Naruto to arrive. Good, you both are here before 9 a.m. Being punctual is a sign of a good shinobi. Shall we start early? They all looked at each other and then nodded. Okay, I would like to make this straight. We only have 9 positions open for Genin right now, so you will have to fight each other for it. So begin. They all looked at each other. Naruto looked sadly at Hinata, then at their sensei. Why would we fight for a position? There would be no need for a team to be formed if we were to fight each other. Shino nodded. As silly as it sounds, I agree with Naruto, fighting would be illogical. To create teams only to have them fight each other, that is not what I would think is a good way to make unity. Hinata bringing her arms to her chest. I would never fight Naruto-kun or Shino for a position. If that is what is required, then I say we should fail. Both Naruto and Shino nodded. Kurenai smiled. You pass. Hinata and Naruto looked amazed. Shino seemed to have no reaction. I needed to test if you would be a team or would you take my challenge and think only for yourself. Most do not get past this point. Congratulations. Now, I have a few things to say. 1. Naruto, we will have to get you a new wardrobe. Wait, I am saying for missions only. In the village you can wear what you want. Naruto looked relieved. Hinata, you will have to work closely with Naruto. Can you handle that? She nodded agreement while slightly blushing. Good. Shino, I want you to come up with secondary plans after my primary. Hinata, you are in charge of the tertiary plans, and Naruto, you are in charge of the final plans, as I know you can come up with plans that no one would think of, so yours are our final backup. They looked confused and Kurenai shrugged her shoulders. If Naruto's plan does not get us out of a situation, then we are not going to finish the mission. Naruto is an expert in evasion and eluding pursuers. I know each of you brings certain skills to the table. I chose you for various reasons, and mostly we will be a scouting squad, as we have the capabilities for surveillance and detainment. Naruto looked uneasy in that he had not always been that observant. And yes, Naruto, you do have your times where you are very observant. I am looking for that, as you will more than likely see things that the others of us will miss. As expected, you passed my test for being a team. I tried to pit you against one another. Had you taken the bait, you would have been sent back to the academy. Now each of you has an ability that you will use and improve upon. Hinata, you have your Byakugan, Shino, you have your destruction insects, and Naruto, you have your cage bunshin, and several other tricks. Of which I would like to address. Naruto, I would like you to stop pulling pranks on the village. To her surprise, he nodded. I would also like to address your attire. This brought a look of utter terror to his face. I told you that you will have to change your look for missions. Around town you can wear what you like, but as a general idea you should either blend into the background or at least not draw attention to yourself. She raised a hand to forestall any counter arguments. I would like you to get some greens, blues, or neutral colors for your outfit. I can take you to places that where you can find these things. She smirked. Hinata and I will go with you to help you choose a couple outfits that will both be helpful and beneficial to our team. Now I would like for Hinata and Shino to spar so I can observe and talk to Naruto. Okay, begin. She walked a little ways away and bid Naruto to follow as Hinata and Shino began to spar. They sat down watching the sparring match. Naruto was the first to speak up. Sensei, I wasn't going to continue to do any more pranks. He said as he was looking at the ground. You see, when I graduated I told myself the village now had at least somewhat accepted me, so I would not need to pull pranks on them. I am impressed. That takes a level of maturity to make a unilateral decision. Especially if the villagers may take time to change their attitude towards you, or even if they do not. She could see that the second part stung Naruto. He looked up at her with a determined look on his face. Sensei, I know that my clothes are for attention, which I know I am trying to get from just about anyone. And I do like orange. He started to look contemplative. You know, most people show me either hatred or indifference. I do not like it and want to change them. Kurenai realized that Naruto was deeper than he appeared. Well, changing people is harder than you might think. It can be done with actions and deeds. These things will in most people bring out their false impressions and make them face them. They will either reevaluate them or they will more strongly hold on to their beliefs. Those are a lost cause and should be forgotten. I would like to talk to you now about the Kyuubi. Naruto stiffened visibly. What about it? From what I understand from Iruka, you can use the shadow clone jutsu, a forbidden technique. Do you know why it is forbidden? He looked at her, not quite understanding. Forbidden technique. What does this have to do with the Kyuubi? Well, Naruto, the shadow clone jutsu is hard for even Jonin to do, also very dangerous if not used properly. To take your chakra and divide it evenly between yourself and your clones can be difficult if you do not have large reserves, such as you have, and here is where we get to the Kyuubi. It is also a large reserve of chakra for you. Most who attempt to use this technique are hampered by having low levels of chakra for other jutsu when they have clones, in other words. They will run out of chakra if they are not careful. You on the other hand will have chakra to spare. So I ask you, how is your clone jutsu? With that, Naruto changed from having a look of awe to looking very depressed. Well, sensei, my clones are pathetic. I don't know why, but I never have been able to do the clone jutsu right. Getting the shadow clone jutsu from the scroll was a godsend. It was so much easier than the clone, as I have not been able to do much with them. I see, so you have problems creating the clones. If I may ask, how many did you create when you took on Mizuki? With that question, Naruto lit up. A couple hundred, I was not sure. Looking a little embarrassed, I was a little mad at the time. Kurenai looked surprised then smiled. So when do you think you should tell them? They will be your team, they should know. Shino will eventually figure there is something odd about you, and Hinata will eventually suspect it. He started to scowl. I don't want them to hate me. Kurenai looked shocked. I don't think they will hate you. But it is okay for now, but I am sure you will eventually either need to tell them or want to. We are a team and should know our strengths and weaknesses. We will talk again about this later. Looking at Hinata and Shino, okay, you two, you can stop. Now Naruto and I will spar and you can rest for a bit. Tomorrow will be our first mission. Naruto and Kurenai spared for about 20 minutes. Afterwards she critiqued them on forms and abilities. She commented that Hinata had the best stance and best style of all her students. Shino was the best at blocking. Naruto, well, he was the best as trying to make the best of the situation. He has a poor stance and poor style. As promised, she took Naruto shopping with Hinata. He dreaded going into stores for the most part, in that the shopkeepers would most of the time either shoo him away or they would accuse him of stealing and beat him while driving him out of the store. But with a Jonin and a Hyuga present, they would mostly keep their mouths shut. Some would refuse to sell Naruto anything, but most complied, usually after Kurenai had a little discussion with them. Most she talked to ended up losing color in their face, more than likely from fear. There were a few that looked on Naruto and saw a new customer, mostly those that were not familiar with the attack 12 years ago. Hope you enjoyed it. Okay, a little note to the fans so far. Thanks for the reviews. Miss Nave. Well, the misspelling was on purpose. This story revolves around Naruto's happiness, but there are more than one aspect to that. Looking happy, being happy, and there is also being sad, or that case not being happy at all. Sorry for the confusion. Dragon chips. Well, I am taking my time with this. Things that are fast die fast, while time heals wounds, also time makes relationships bloom. You will see what I mean. Also, they are only around 12 years old, so figuring out what to do and how to feel is always a problem for kids. I also have some twists and turns coming.